Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. We are back in the car again because this is the only place I could film. You get to see my cute little parking ticket. Anyway, I'm going to be filming a highly requested video, which is the very first time that I actually came out. So you guys knew that I came out on film, but I was out for a while where only my friends knew. And so we're going to be talking about that story and kind of how that went down, because let me tell you girl, some shit went down, and I'm glad that a lot of time has passed because I used to not be able to actually talk about this story because it's a little traumatizing, you know, just a little bit. I feel like this seat needs to be moved back, right? Like I feel like I'm up in your face right now. Like, am I up in your face? Is this better? Okay. It's so cold. I should start my car and have the heat on, but don't waste gas, I'm broke. Anyway, we're just gonna hop right into the story. So I was about 14 or 15 maybe around this time. I really don't know. I'm terrible at time. I just know that I was a teenager. I was a teenager and this was before the kids. And it all started with a conversation about porn, if I'm being honest. Me and my best friend, who you guys will actually probably eventually meet because she lives in Washington. So whenever I move down here, I am so excited to like reconnect and everything. But anyway, we were sitting down talking about what kind of porn we like. And we weren't holding anything back, okay? And I was sitting there talking to her about how it's so weird that I just can't watch straight porn. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like, I don't like the men. Anyway, we were just getting into this conversation, which led us into obviously liking girls. And so I was like, yeah, like I think I've always kind of known that I've liked girls. I've always thought that they were, you know, I want this further back. I still feel all up in your shit. Which, by the way, guys, this does not mean that you are gay if you don't like straight porn. It definitely, the conversation went a little bit more deep than that, and I'll get there. Anyway, we started getting to the nitty-gritty and talking about like every little time that we've gotten butterflies from girls, or every little time that we might have had like something a little bit more than a girl crush. After hours and hours of talking, I just eventually came out to her and was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am bi. Like, I do like girls. And she was so accepting. She was like, yes, bitch, get that pussy. Like, this was really big for me because I've never opened up to a girl like that ever, especially because they were a girl, and I thought that if I were to tell any of my girlfriends that, hey, I'm a little gay, that they would start thinking that I liked them, especially because a lot of times their boyfriends wouldn't allow them to be friends with queer girls, which is just insane to me. That's so homophobic. But anyway, but it was a really huge step for me to finally admit to somebody. And after talking to her, I was super excited to actually come out to everybody else because she was so supportive, and I just thought everybody would have this huge crazy reaction, and so it just made me feel more comfortable to be able to tell people. And backstory, I was in a straight relationship at the time, so we'll get there. We'll get to that part. I called my boyfriend thinking that, you know, it's not going to be a big deal or anything, and I was like, oh my god, like, guess what? Like, I think I'm finally comfortable in my sexuality. I'm bi! He blew up, and because of the situation, it kind of halted me telling anybody else because he basically gave me the reaction that I was so scared of people having, and I was like, well, I don't want to risk it again, so I didn't tell anybody else. Anyway, I was trying to calm him down, telling him, you know, maybe I'm just confused. Things got a lot more serious that night to where he actually tried taking his life because I came out to him. That was the last thing that I expected. So the rest of the night was me calling the ambulance, making sure that, you know, he got the help that he needed there. He did end up having to go to the hospital, and then he went to the mental hospital, and after he got out, I think like a week later, you know, we had another talk about it, and I just said, nope, I'm straight. And that's just kind of where I left off for so many years. I ended up being with that person for 5 years and had 2 kids with them, and it makes me so sad that I didn't know my worth and didn't, you know to leave after that. It was just a part of who I was, and it made me even more confused because I still was very much in love with that person. And so I think in my head it was just kind of like, well, I'm already in a straight relationship. I really don't need to explore that any further. The rest of the time in that relationship was really weird every single time that topic would come up because I was always scared that that same instance would happen later on in that relationship. It was like the last year, he finally asked me if I was bi, and I remember my heart sinking. We were in the car, I remember it like it was yesterday, and he was like, do you still feel that way, or do you think that was just a phase? And obviously I was a lot more comfortable with who I was. Again, I wasn't like fully out, but I still knew within me. I told him the truth and was like, yeah, like I do think that I am bi. To my surprise, actually, he ended up saying that I could go explore if I wanted to, just with girls and see, you know, if I really was, which I did appreciate that growth from way long ago of like how he reacted versus now, because that was a really hard conversation. I knew that it was coming. I was always scared that he would ask again. It was just something that we never talked about. And so I am glad that he was like more accepting in the future. I mean, we were really young back then, not to give excuses, because I still don't think, you know, what happened was okay. However, people do deal with their own mental stuff. I am understanding, you know, and I am glad that there was just so much growth from what it originally was. And so, yeah, I didn't end up actually experimenting. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't want to pursue experimenting within my marriage, just because, for one, we were in a monogamous relationship. I felt like that was very invalidating to my sexuality. I know it came from a kind place and he was just trying to help me. It was just very invalidating to me, because to me, a relationship with a girl is just as real as it is with a man, because he didn't really take women seriously enough to harm his marriage. There shouldn't be any difference. If we're in a monogamous relationship, then we're in a monogamous relationship and we're not going to open those doors. But if we're going to open those doors, it should be open for everyone. Also, because I was in a monogamous relationship and very loyal, I could not see myself going off and like trying to like mess around with somebody else, only because we were in a monogamous relationship. If we were in something else, it'd be a different story. But yeah, so I declined on that and got a divorce instead. And here we are, 2 girlfriends later. But yeah, I appreciate him at least trying, kind of. And that is my coming out story. I wanted to make this video for anybody else that has come out and not had the best of time doing so. You're not alone. And I also wanted to show the people that even if you do encounter all of these really shitty experiences of coming out, you can still come out and be happy. I've never felt more comfortable with who I am and who I love than now, and I wish it was a little bit easier for me. I wish it was a little bit easier for all of us. It sucks that we have to come out in general. I'm glad that I'm here and you can do it too. Come out whenever you feel comfortable, whenever it's safest for you. Do not feel pressured to come out. You do not owe anybody coming out. Nobody needs to know your business if you don't want to. Be loud and proud if you want to. It is all up to you. Just make sure that you are safe and comfortable doing so. And yeah, that is my story. So I hope you guys liked it, and I love you guys so much. You guys could always reach me in my DMs on Instagram if you want to talk about coming out. But yeah, that is it. I love you guys. Bye.
Made me walk the plank 'cause they said I'm a liar, but I learned how to swim. I was fighting to live, so they turned to the stake and they set me